How y'all doing out there, America, the world? We here with another episode of the Put to Bed podcast. You hear me?
Yes, sir. Diamond G in the building. We back again with another one. So
Another
what
one.
we on? What we on? We on
I think this
episode.
episode 10, for real.
No, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah.
To the
Yeah.
consistency of it all. I love it. I love that. Man, number 10. All right.
No, number 10. You hear me? Number 10
So
for the
that
win.
mean they gonna keep coming, and that mean we gonna keep growing, and then we gonna keep flourishing for sure.
No, for real, for real, for real.
But yeah, we got four topics for you again. Um the first one, I'm laughing and giggling because the first one is a topic that came up. I'm not gonna say who how it came up, but it came up, and it is saying what we're asking: men getting they ass ate, is it gay or no? So
Is
basically, in a hood way, it's getting your ass ate. Is it gay?
you
Do
wild
we
or
feel
is
like
you
it's gay?
not?
Huh? You
Is
said
you
what?
wild out here or is you not? You hear
Is
me?
it wild? Are you wilding out here? Is you doing things that people don't know? Like what? Because I mean, I don't know. I want to know your intake, but it was a question that came up on it just came up. So it's
Yeah.
interesting because it's a preference for some people.
It is a preference for some people. I honestly thought about it because it was like I don't know what made me think about it, to be honest. It's like it's been a controversial thing for a long time, but I just
Right.
wanted to I really wanted to get your opinion on it. That's why I kind of initiated the conversation on it. I know where I stand. I
Yeah.
just want to, you feel me, see what
Yeah,
you.
I know. And I figured that it was just like when some things come up, I get shy as hell. So
Yeah.
like my cheeks start hurting and shit. But like I'm cussing. Okay, so let's get to it. Let's get to it. Okay, so again, is men getting their ass a gay or no? I feel like it's a personal preference.
Okay.
Um, if you're a straight man and if you like it's the secret part. I think when you start making it like a secret and you doing something wrong, that's when it's starting to feel like, um, what you into on the side type shit.
Type shit. Type shit.
Like if I don't know, it's a hard one for me because if my man say, "Hey, come here," my man say, "Hey, come here, let me, I want you to do something." You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
How you
I
bring that
want you
up though? How
to.
you even how you
I
even
mean, like
initiate
that's what I'm
that?
saying. Come here. Let me. I want you to do something. What's up? I want you to eat my ass. I want you to eat my ass. Like what? Say it louder. I want you to eat my ass. What? Say it again. Say it again. Like so.
I'm weak.
Like I mean, I don't know how I come up. I think it's a personal preference. I think.
Has any man ever asked you that? Have any man ever asked?
Yes, absolutely, 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 absolutely. I'm not even going front. Absolutely. You know what? I think it's like some people it's a part of their sexual experience. Bro, it's a part of
I'm
their sexual
sorry. I'm
experience and shit.
sorry,
Like
but I'm
it's a
weak.
part of their sexual experience. So like
I'm weak.
but I will say if I'm asked it, I'm giving you the side eye. I'm giving you the side eye because I already have in my mind that like a lot of men be, because the
Yeah,
way they switch up and do too much sassy shit. So
yeah,
I'm already gonna have the side eye if you come out and just ask me that. Like I can see if we was together for a long time and we would maybe want to experiment type shit
yeah.
and it got to come up in a decent way. But otherwise, if we just like messing around or something, don't ask me no shit like that for real. Like
No, that
don't because like that's like me saying, "Hey, toot that ass up." That's like me feeling like a nigga. I
toot
mean, a
that.
dude. That's make me feel like a dude a little bit. It make me feel like, oh damn, I'm a little aggressive. I'm like the raw person. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it's a personal preference. Whatever you do, you do. But I know it's a lot of men out there that do it. There's a lot of men out there that ask you to do it. And I
Crazy.
mean,
How
like
you
yeah.
follow?
And you just gotta be careful who you asking because some people can take that the wrong way. Some of you might get smacked in the face. But
Oh
like,
yeah,
I feel like yeah, it definitely you definitely get asked. You definitely get asked.
that's
Absolutely.
crazy.
I
That's
ain't get
crazy.
asked in my 20s. I got asked in my 30s, and then now entering 40s. Absolutely, they asked that brave. They brave as a bitch.
Niggas get older and get a little bolder. You hear me?
Niggas get older and want to toot that ass up a little bit
That's
to figure
crazy.
out what that's about. Something new, something new. But like I'm not opposed to trying some new things. I just feel like you got to be in a certain place in your relationship, like to do
Yeah,
all that
definitely,
for real.
definitely. That ain't just for no. That ain't just
That ain't
definitely.
for everybody, cause you know a lot of stuff happening in that area. That ain't for everybody to be doing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, mm.
That's crazy.
So I mean, mine's short and simple. Like, what's yours, bro? Because I mean, I just feel like it's a personal preference, and whatever you do, you do. Whatever you like, you like. Just be mindful of who you ask, and yeah, be in a relationship or something because everybody ass ain't clean. What's your thoughts?
I mean, I'm gonna keep mine short and brief, like a pair of Fruit of the Looms. You hear me? I feel like, for one, a man's G spot is in his rectum. That's a scientific fact. So
It
I can
is.
see why
It is.
men would probably get stimulated from that, and why, you feel me. It probably feel good. I ain't there had my ass ate, so I can't vouch and say how it feel or nothing. You feel me? I ain't have no area expertise when it comes to this. But I get it. So scientifically, man, G spot is in his rectum area, so I see why it
Yeah.
probably would stimulate them and feel good or turn them on. I feel like anything you do with a woman can't be considered gay. Whether you getting your ass ate or you eating or you tossing the salad, whether you feel me, whether you the chef in the kitchen or you just waiting for a plate. I don't feel like it's gay. I do feel like it's wild. I feel like it's wild. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay.
And me as a heterosexual man, me as being me, I feel like it's wild, bro. I feel like
Yeah.
I'm not asking no woman to eat my buns. Like, these
Boo.
honey
A boo.
buns deserve to stay in the package. They gonna stay in the package in which
They
they
were used for
came
certain
till they
things.
expire. You hear me? I can't bring myself as a man. I can't bring myself to even. I don't want it done. For one, I don't even like it being touched. I don't even like
Right.
I
Right.
don't like it
Right.
being fondled. I might be the little spoon every now and again. That's cool. I ain't gonna lie. I like being the little spoon. Cuddle me. I cuddle you in the middle of the night. That feel good. But as far as like anything further than that, like getting smacked on the buns, or getting it ate, getting it touched, getting it grabbed, getting it squeezed. None of that. I ain't cool. I ain't really. I'm cool on all of that type of anal activity.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna not as now. I would say I'm that's probably a little bit TMI, but I will. You feel me? I will not even reciprocate because that means I have to get it done first. I will give that. I give that type of energy. I ain't gonna lie.
Right.
I didn't ate from the forbidden
From the rooter to
garden.
the tutor. Hmm.
Yeah, I done ate from the forbidden garden a couple times, and I will again. I will strike again if I have to.
I
But
mean,
that's just me. Like you said, it's a personal preference. I don't feel like
that's
it's
real.
gay. I do feel like it's wild. I do feel like you got to be a certain level of a nigga to just. You got to be a certain level of bold. You got to be a certain level. You got to be really. Maybe I ain't as secure in my masculinity as I think I am, because you got to be real secure in your masculinity to just ask for that and not feel no type of way, like, or you just
Yeah.
freaked out, like. I don't know. I don't know. Me personally, I'm not getting it done ever. Don't ask me to do it. Like, it's not me and women have joked about it, like on some funny hee ha, but on some real,
Yeah.
like, no, I can never see. Don't eat my
That
ass.
happened.
Not going. No, nah, nah. I'm cool. I'm cool. I eat it, but I ain't finna get it ate. Nah, I'm cool. I'm cool
I,
on that. That's like
yeah.
I said. Anything that you do with a woman, I don't feel like, unless you letting her put a strap on and penetrate you, like, that's
Mm,
wild. Like, but
that's
anything like
different.
other than that, I feel like, I don't feel like it's gay, but I do feel like it's questionable.
It's
I'm gonna leave it
questionable.
at that. I feel like it's questionable.
I
But
told you,
it's
it's a
put to
side
bed for
eye.
me, though. It's put to bed for me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
whatever you do is whatever you do, but
Yeah.
it's kind of wild to me. I ain't gonna lie to you.
It's a side eye because I can't say women who
Definitely.
prefer it, but women prefer it too. So I mean, they like it too. So it's like it's a little selfish for you to be like, okay, man, I like this, but blah blah blah. I don't say selfish, but like, I mean, they might be like you said, that's
It's a
a
little
spot.
discriminative if you want your
Yeah,
butt
yeah,
ate,
yeah,
you want your ass
right.
ate, but then if you look at him crazy for wanting his ate, like, it's
But you don't want to
discriminative. But at the
reciprocate.
same time, it's like, I don't know. I'm cool on it. I'm cool on
I,
it.
I feel like, yeah, like you said, that's the spot. So I don't see why it would be not a question coming up eventually. It's just more about like if I see a dude just being like, oh, bam, then I know it's
Yeah,
a
you just
no.
arched your back
You
and
did
threw
this
that and
before.
tooted that.
Yeah, you did this before. You like it too much. It's a wrap. So
Yeah,
nah.
even if my partner, like, we have a conversation about, how niggas talk, how homies talk, and you bring that up and say, like, I've let a female do that. I'm not gonna judge you and be like, oh, fool, gay. But I'm
Yes,
definitely finna run 50 on you. I'm definitely finna run. I'm definitely finna fire you up. I'm definitely finna rib you, how Jones you, however the terminology fit in 2025. Definitely finna spark
they're
you and
not gonna
fire you
say
up.
it.
You definitely finna hear the jokes from me.
They're not gonna say it though. That's the thing.
No,
Like
no,
I can
no.
guarantee that you hang with at least one or two people who've had it done or done it,
Oh
but they
yeah,
ain't
oh
gonna
yeah,
say nothing.
yeah. 1 out of 5. 1 out of 5. Statistics have shown 1 out of 5 men
One at a
have.
time.
So that's wild though. But no, it's put to bed for me. I ain't gonna lie, it's
Shoot, it's
wild
put to bed. It's sleep. Night night on that. It's night
though.
night. It's Debo. It's Debo.
Speaking of illicit activity and speaking of sexual activity and conduct
Hmm.
and dating and that ramification of it,
Yes.
you had a topic that was dating in the workplace. So I'm gonna
Yes,
let you
yes.
elaborate a little more on that.
Okay, so I just wanted to know, like, what you thought about. I'll be blunt, like having a relationship with somebody in work, just having sex with somebody at work, fucking somebody at work. Like, is that something you should do? First off, and if you do, how do you handle that? Like, how do you make it to where it's not messy as hell?
Fact, I ain't gonna lie,
Um,
that was my first word I was gonna say.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
messy
that's because
to me. To me, it's
yeah,
messy.
right, right.
To me, it's
So
messy.
that I just wanted to see like what you as a male perspective think about that. Like I
I
know
mean,
my thoughts. I know my thoughts, but like
I can honestly say I've had one experience. I had one
yeah.
experience in my whole life where I could say I dated in the workplace, like,
Hmm.
and it didn't turn out good. I ended up getting fired from that job due to these activities
Oh,
because it wasn't like I was just necessarily exclusively dating.
fraternizer?
Yeah, it was like it was real soap opera ish for me. It was real soap opera ish, and anybody who I've seen engage in these activities, it turns into like real soap opera ish.
The
Like
soap opera shit.
I'm gonna give you an example of mine, right? So I was working in a nursing home. Mind you, I'm working in a nursing home. Our auntie worked there. Moms was working
Oh,
there. I was working there. Our other auntie was working there. Cuz was working there. So it was like we had like 5, 6
family.
family
Yeah,
members
yeah.
working in there. And this one, I was, in my prime. So I was, you feel me? And it was so many CNAs in there. I'm in a nursing home. There's
Right.
nurses in there, CNAs in there,
You have
some
choices.
females. Yeah, I had choices and options, and the options was optioning. So it was crazy for me. Like I ended up embarking on one of the options, and she was
Not
she was
embarking.
nice. She was a nice woman, like decent, like nice, upstanding. You feel me? And but at the same time, I was still young. I wasn't. Me and her was kind of in a relationship. It led
Hmm.
to that. Like we was. I can't just disregard the situation for like it wasn't what it was. But
Right.
but we was kind of dating. Kinda. We wasn't there. We never like made it official, but like we shooting. I mean, I'll be spending night at her crib. She's spending night at my crib. Like
Hmm.
we kicking it. We buying each other things. We in that type of activity. But before I even started messing with her, like it was another chick that I was interested in there too. It was two chicks that I was interested in, and two chicks that
Two.
were interested in me. So it ended up turning into some like I'm sleeping with her, but Shouty on my head. But first of all, Shouty wasn't giving me no play until she found
Hmm.
out like she was giving me play, but it wasn't like on the let's link type stuff. Until she
Yeah.
found out I was messing with Shouty, and then it was like on some, oh, you messing with her? I feel,
Right.
you know how females get,
Yeah,
it
yeah, I
was on
do.
some, oh, I think I look better than her. You messing with her, but you ain't messing with me. And
Right.
it was like, Shouty, I tried to mess with you. So now it was like now that she found out I'm messing with her, now she wanna, you
That's
feel me?
gonna
She
feel
wanna get
away.
her spin on the Jeopardy wheel, and
Yeah.
now she wanna level Shouty up. So it became messy, and it became like I ain't know how to turn nothing down but my collar at the time. And as you can see, I ain't even got one of those. So yeah. So it turned into a situation where it was real messy. They ended up
Yeah.
arguing and getting into a dispute at the job
At
in
the
front of the old people and everything. It was crazy.
man,
So
that's messy,
so
messy.
yeah, messy, messy. I'm talking about we need a clean up on aisle 5 type messy. So they arguing, they doing their thing in front of the residents. They raising their voices, they talking all this. So they end up getting reprimanded, and both of them
At
brought my
work,
name up like, oh, we arguing because of Buddy.
goes him.
Both of
Yeah,
them end up keeping their job, and I end up losing mine. Mind you, I wasn't even part of the argument, but I was just part of the problem. And I end up
you part of the
so
problem.
yeah, I wasn't even part of the problem. I was just part of the argument. I wasn't even part of the argument. I was just part of the problem. So that didn't turn out good for me. And I also seen it in numerous. I ain't gonna talk about nobody else's specific
Yeah,
situation
yeah,
besides my own, but I've seen it not turn out good for people. And I
right.
just feel like aside from that personal experience, I feel like it can get messy. I feel like it can get
It
messy. I feel
can.
like it's kind of unprofessional, and my that's just my personal opinion. Like
Yeah.
you could keep. I feel like if I'm dating you, work is an escape. Especially if we living
Right.
together, if we date, we see
Especially.
each other all the time. Like work is a place where we get our. I get to miss you. I
Yeah.
get to think about you more. I get to text you while I'm at work.
Get
I get to
away.
actually like I get to miss you while I'm at work. I
Hmm.
get to my peace of mind. I get my peace of thought. If we living together, we working together. We doing too much, too much. I don't ever
Right.
get a piece of like I don't ever get that piece of like comfort or where not even comfort, but just alone
That
time. Like
break.
yeah, that break where you see this person all the time. It could become problematic. It could become real messy real fast. And then especially like if you are going to do it, to touch on the second half of your question, if you are going to do it, man, keep it private. Keep
Right.
it private. Don't know.
Exactly.
None of y'all coworkers should know unless y'all was already in a relationship prior to
Mm-mm.
starting y'all job and y'all both just filled out the application together, whatever. Y'all both got hired as a couple, and y'all
Yeah.
come into this as a couple, then that's different. But if y'all start
That's
dating in
different.
the workplace, man, y'all keep it private, bro. Keep it
Keep it
private because
private.
now everybody now y'all a topic of conversation. Now people got gossip
Exactly.
about y'all and the other people and the other men wanna try to shoot at your girl because they jealous or they see or they figure like oh they I can level him up or women do the
Hmm.
same thing. It becomes messy. It becomes a problem. It becomes soap opera to me.
It becomes,
And,
yeah,
and
topic of conversation.
to avoid that, like don't do it at all. Or if you're going to do it and you that type of person where you do date in the work field, that's you. I ain't judging about that's
Yeah.
you. But keep it private. Everybody should know y'all business because now you're allowing everybody that you work with into your relationship, and it
Hmm.
becomes a stressful environment. Your
It
workplace is
does.
your place where you get your bag, place where you pay your bills at, place where you create your stability. You don't want
Right.
everybody knowing your business. You don't want that to become toxic. You don't want that to become messy. You don't want that to become a place where it's like you stressing and and everybody worry about y'all and then y'all
Everybody
beefing and
work.
now the
Hmm.
energy is weird at work because y'all had a problem outside of work and now y'all bringing
Yep.
that to work. Hey, it's just a lot that
It's a
can
lot.
become problematic. That's why a lot of jobs have it in the contract where you're not supposed to date. They can fire you
Right.
can get fired for dating the work
You
and they
get
create
fired.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they create that for a reason because it can become messy. But
Fraternizing.
yeah, fraternizing. I feel like
Hmm.
it can easily become messy. If you're gonna do it, keep it private. That's my ending piece on it.
I agree. I agree completely. I think so. You took like a lot of my points that I was
My
gonna
bad,
make
my bad.
too. No, no, you good, bro. Because that means we align. And I like the alignment. I think if you're gonna do it, like you said, keep it private because it can get completely messy. I've been there, done that. Well, not do it again, but it can get messy. Everybody know your business. If you tell one person, you can tell one person in there who's your work friend.
Oh yeah,
That one person gonna tell somebody else if
telephone game.
it's how it is realistically, and then
Right.
it's around the job. Now everybody got rumors. Now they want confirmation. Now you want to know they gonna come up to you, or they gonna be watching you and him, or you and her, or whatever to see like what's up. And then as soon as that happen, any confirmation, a look, a graze in the shoulder, anything, a body movement towards each other, it's a wrap. Everybody know.
Everybody
And
knows it's
then
different.
what? It goes, yeah. And then it gets to the women who had a crush on that person, who didn't shoot their shot. Now they mad. Like it can get, or people who used to date this person in the past because you don't know, or they get mad. So like, or just like people just mad. Period. Because that's what happens in life. Like it can just get messy. It can get messy
Facts.
for no reason. And I just think if you're gonna do it, hey, keep it private. Don't let nobody know. Now, on the other hand, I think it can be very fun.
Oh, it could be fun. Yeah, it could be fun.
Depends on the situation. It can be very fun.
Yeah.
Depends on
Facts.
the maturity. Yeah. Depends on the maturity of the person, the communication, the understanding that y'all have. It could be fun. Like as long as you know y'all two know what's up. Like we at work. We at work. Like, hey, can you do
Yeah.
this one? Yeah, okay, thank you. We don't know each other like that until we get out of that building and far away from that building. Like,
Yeah.
nah,
Yeah.
not even in the parking lot. We don't know each other. But
Yeah.
like,
Facts.
it could be very fun when it's a secret too, and nobody
Yeah.
know but y'all two. If
And
that
when you
could,
able to keep it professional,
yeah,
like you
if
saying.
keep professional, it's exactly the same time because I mean, you don't know what's gonna happen with that situation or relationship, so you still should keep it professional because you don't want to lose your job, your statue, who you are, your reputation, all that for something that may be temporary for real.
Facts.
So just keep it professional, keep it private, or don't do it at
Or
all,
don't do
like you
it.
said,
And
like
I
you
know some
said.
people be playing a dangerous game. Some people be cracking multiple people at the job, and you didn't like. I ain't gonna say I experienced it. I experienced it with the situation I was telling you.
Yeah.
But you see how it ended for me. Like I ended up losing
Right.
my job. But you playing a dangerous game when you're doing that. Dating one person at the job is the dangerous game. Period.
Yeah.
But multiple is like you playing Russian
It's
roulette.
ridiculous.
Yeah, you playing
You
Russian roulette.
you doing multiple is like you said, you playing Russian roulette, and also you you man, you setting up some boxing matches is what you're doing.
Oh
You
yeah,
setting up
yeah.
some
That's what
real
I'm
life
saying.
boxing matches because chicks will fight over some dudes. Chicks will
Oh
fight.
yeah, and dudes will fight over some chicks these
Yeah,
days.
but I know for a fact, like a women will fight. Well, I can't say women will fight more. I think over a man
Yeah,
than
yeah. I
than
think
men
so.
will
Yeah,
over women. Yeah,
yeah. I think so. Yeah.
just because like out of pure like, hey,
It's
you messing with
territorial.
my
Women are
man.
more territorial when it comes to
Territorial.
that type of
Yeah.
stuff.
Yep. So yeah, it's gonna happen. It's definitely gonna happen.
Yeah,
But
you
yeah,
playing.
for me, it puts a bad because I feel like I've done it already in my past. Like you said, it didn't work out well. People catch feelings, get mad, and then get the bringing that to work. And
Facts.
I'm more of a professional person, so when you bring that to work, now I got to ignore you, and now I see what you about. So now it's done. So you might have had that one time, that one taste, and now it's a wrap because you done messed it up. You can't keep your feelings together,
Yeah,
your
you done blew
emotions intact.
it. You done blew it. That's how I would be too, though. Like if we can't keep it under control, we can't keep it quiet.
Yeah,
I'm gonna end it because you didn't blew it.
right.
Like I'm a private person. I don't like.
Yeah,
I let
exactly.
certain stuff hang out. Like okay, I don't mind letting people know I personal train or I do music and this and that, but you ain't got to know everything that's going on in my work life.
No,
There's a lot of stuff that people don't know about me at all at work, and I'm gonna keep it that way unless they watch my
exactly.
podcast and find out and be like, oh, he did this or he didn't been through this or he didn't been through that.
Yep,
But talking about it at the gig, no, that's not really.
that's not what I do.
It's not me. It's not me. I try to keep a level of professionalism, a level of mystique to
Yep.
it.
Yep. Mystique is a perfect word. I
Mhm.
do. I think we exactly alike with that. Like I've worked somewhere for years. People be like, "Oh, you got kids?" Or you like, "Yeah, you don't need to know my business." Like,
Exactly.
ain't about
Everything
them
I let
keeping
you
it.
know, for
Yeah,
real. Everything
it
I let you
ain't
know is
about like
because
no secret.
it's not going to affect me. It's something that if I let y'all notice, if everybody at the gig notice about me, it's because it's something I don't care about. It's something
Yeah,
that's I
yeah,
don't mind people knowing. It's something that I tell anybody type stuff. But
right.
I don't just tell everybody everything though. For real, can't.
If it's something I tell you, it's something I want you to know. Just believe that.
Facts, facts, facts.
It's night night for me. It's Debo for me. Sleep.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
the
It's night
bed.
night for me too. It's put to bed.
So let's
Yeah.
see. Now I might get the name wrong because I really had to look. I mean, I've seen his name on like social media and stuff like that, but I really don't pay attention to it like as much. But okay, so our third topic gonna be men who are more like Dr. Umar, right?
Umar.
Umar, Dr. Umar, who only date black women, who basically black
Only
women are
date inside their
queens.
race.
Yeah, based on their race. That's it. Or what do we think about women like men who like Tiger Woods who only date white women? Have a certain type of white women. They believe that white woman is it for them. Like it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it's a god in a sense, not God, but a god in a sense
yeah,
for
yeah.
them.
My milk
So
of
like
magnesia.
yes, yes. So like what like okay. Yeah. So what's your thoughts on that? I mean, I know my thoughts. That was your topic, but I can go into it first if you want me to.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
because
I would appreciate. I wouldn't mind hearing your
I
take on it.
mean, okay. I'm gonna keep it cute, short, so I don't get in trouble with nothing and nobody. I'm not a huge believer in I would say it, and I'm a believer in black love. I'll say that. That's a better way to say it. I'm a believer in black love. So it's not that I don't like to see other relationships together, other interracial relationships or whatever. I just believe in black love. So I prefer to see that. But I am if it happens, I am a believer in love. So if it happens, it happens. But on the other hand, I think when men only pick a certain type of woman, particularly a white woman, and a black man, they have a little bit of an issue with them within themselves. I don't know what that looked like. If it's like their history, their parents, not understanding who they are, like just being colorblind to who they are, ignoring whatever that looked like. But they have an issue within themselves for them not to recognize that their beauty, black is a beauty, black women is a beauty, because regardless of what they think, that's what you come from. I mean,
Fact.
your mom might be a white woman, but if your dad is black, and he came from a black woman, you come from that. So that's something that you got to recognize, and you got to be real with yourself and self reflect on, and be good with it. Because you can date who you want, but you don't crucify the next. Is what my problem is. Like
Facts.
that's the biggest thing that I don't like about it is you can date who you want. I ain't gotta agree, but don't put down the next person, mainly the black woman, because of your preference. That's your preference. And ain't nobody saying nothing about you and your preference, but like I think that's what the biggest thing for me is crucifying black women because you date a certain person or because they look a certain way, and a black woman doesn't. And I mean, I think love gonna always win, but sometimes I don't think that you should lead with. Hmm, sometimes I think you should give your race a chance. Period. You should give your race a chance to find love within that, and if you don't, you don't. But at least give it a chance first, because hey, you never know what's gonna happen in the future, and we might need more of us that look like us than that's around right now. But
Facts.
yeah. I'm just, I don't know too much about him, but I know that he is a believer in black women, the beauty of them, and all that. But I do believe that, it can happen. It happens every day. We see interracial relationships all the time. Our dad is in an interracial relationship. So it's not that we're not a part of it. That was his preference for a little bit. It's your preference, but I do believe he was also married to a black woman too. So, you
Mm.
know, I can't say that take away from that part, because love's love, but give it a chance at least, and don't crucify that woman if you don't want to give it a chance.
Fact.
Like black women the color of black women, hair, all that stuff. Men will go to that quick to put a
Fact.
black woman down just to make themselves and their decisions feel better. So like, just don't do that. Do what you want though. But it's put to bed for me.
I mean, you touched on a lot of points that I was going to touch on. I could just reiterate in certain aspects. I feel like you said, date who you want to date.
Right.
You had a right to be attracted to who you are attracted to. Like for a
Mm-hmm.
long time, I was attracted to nothing but like Latina women. Not nothing but like black and Latina women. I
Yeah.
still am. I mean, I was, but for a long time, like it was like I mainly wanted them Latina. You got to be you feel me? It was a certain, you
Yeah.
feel me? But
Black
I,
or
but
Latino.
yeah, that was my preference. That's still my preference. Like to be honest, like black and Latina women. Like, but at the same time, I 1,000% agree, and I want to reiterate what you said as far as like the putting down.
Yeah.
Now, if you Puerto Rican and you say, "Oh, I don't date Puerto Rican women," they this, they that, they this, they that, they this and that, or you
Mm-hmm.
black and you say, "I don't date black women because they this, they that, they this, they that, they this and that," and naming all these characteristics, like I feel like that's self hate.
It
You
is.
hate yourself in a certain aspect. You hate your moms in a certain aspect.
Mm-hmm.
You hate
Mm-hmm.
your genealogy in a certain aspect, your grandmother,
Right.
because that's what you came from. How could
Yeah.
you come out your mouth and say, as a black man, I don't like black women if your mama is black? If
Right.
your grandmama is black, if your
That
sisters
is
are
true.
black, if your
Mm-hmm.
child like you have self hatred.
Right.
It's issues within yourself that you still have yet to resolve, and it's stuff that you hate about yourself, and you projecting that onto the opposite sex because you uncomfortable with yourself. You may be a
Mm.
weak man, and black women are strong. Women of color, period, are strong, and a
Yeah.
lot of men can't deal with that, so they go to somebody that's gonna be more submissive, more yes, 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 this,
Yes.
that's like you
Mm-hmm.
going to somebody that you can handle, that you can control, that you can manipulate, that you can handle how you want to handle you because you're not strong enough to deal with a black woman. I feel like
Right.
men who not men who just date white women. I don't like you said, your preference is your preference, love is love.
Right.
But men who are strict on it and crucify black women, bro, you pussy. And I'm just gonna be straight
Exactly.
out with it. You take it how I take it. Take it how you want to take it. I feel like you're less of a man because how could you crucify what you come from? You're not strong enough to deal
Mm-hmm.
with a black woman. The black woman ain't the
Mm-hmm.
problem. You the problem.
Right.
That's it. The Puerto
Yeah.
Rican woman ain't the problem. You the problem. If you feel
Mm-hmm.
like that's self hatred. If you hate your own, if you hate what you come from, then you projecting that self hatred
On
onto the
others.
world, and it's
Mm-hmm.
and it's coming out into the form of how you date and how you view. your significant others, because that's
Right.
crazy to me. I come from a
It
black
is.
woman. I love black women. Even if I end up with a Puerto Rican woman, if I end up with a Mexican woman, if I end up with an Asian woman, it's my personal preference. But at the end of
Right.
the day, I'm always gonna love and I'm gonna cherish my black queens because I'm raising a young black queen. I was raised in a
Mm-hmm.
household full of black queens, and I was raised by a black queen. So
Say
I
it.
can never fix my lips to come at a woman of the same skin tone as myself, is the same genealogy as myself. Not even genealogy, but it's the same racial profile as myself, and say
Right.
and talk about her, talk about her hair, talk about it's a lot of stuff that I don't like about black women. Period. I'm just being honest, but
Yeah.
it's not nothing that I don't feel like me as a black man. That's my job to educate black women and educate them and let them know, look, you don't have to do this, or you don't have to have these characteristics. You don't have to feel like this. You don't have to press your hair out. You don't have to get a perm to try to look like the European women. You don't have to wear the contacts and the blue contacts to look like European women. Be comfortable in
Mm-hmm.
your own skin. And that's our job as men, is to educate and make our women feel love, make them feel
Right.
comfort, make them feel wanted for who they
Beautiful.
are. Not to
Mm.
oppress them for having afros, or oppress them for having brown eyes, or this and that. Like that's our job as black men, is to comfort them and make them feel empowered, make them feel
Right.
beautiful. Like that's crazy to me. But if you got your own personal preference and you feel like you want to date who you want to date, cool, date who you want to date. I don't got no
Mm-hmm.
problem with that. Like you said, like our father and I love my stepmom's like type situation, and she's a white woman. At the same time, our little brothers are black men, and and both our parents instill that, both of their parents instill that into them to let them know, like, even though you identify as this, or you raised by this, like the America is gonna look at you as this. America gonna look at you
Right.
as a black man. I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's a personal preference, for the Tiger Woods type men who only date white women. Now, if you only date outside your race, cool. I ain't got nothing. No, no. You mean that's how you feel? That's what you want to
Hey,
do. But the moment you
that's your
start
loss.
disrespecting your own race, bro, you pussy. That's just
That's your loss.
you're a weaker man than what you think you are. If you feel like you have to oppress your own to make
Right.
yourself, to exalt yourself and feel higher than what you are. Now, if
Mm-hmm.
you attracted to what you're attracted to, cool. Me personally, I've only dated black women. I've only dated Latina women. I probably have, you feel me, dipped in the took a couple sips of the milk. I took a couple
Samples.
sips of the milk in my life before, but that was it. It was a couple sips, and them, they wasn't, half of them was all of them. They was in the hood. They grew up in the
Yeah.
same blocks we grew up on. They wasn't like no super not to be funny or be racist or nothing, but they wasn't like super white. The white girls that I talked to, they identified as like, shit. I grew up in the same struggles as you. They grew up in the same neighborhoods as us. They went to the same schools as us.
Mm-hmm.
They were educated on how we are. I cannot see myself in a position where I'm dating a woman where I gotta educate her, or I gotta
Oh, you
tell
are.
her, I gotta prep her before she come to this cookout. I gotta prep her before she come to this family
Right.
gathering. I gotta tell her that it's not cool to say this, or it's not cool to do this, like, because she's so out of touch with us. I
You
can't be
damn sure
comfortable
do.
with somebody who's out of touch with who I am as a man, because I'm a strong black man, and there's certain issues and there's certain stuff that I feel, there's certain energies that I
Mm-hmm.
feel, and certain views that I have and opinions that I have that only a
A
woman of
black
color is
woman.
going to understand. And I don't
Yeah.
feel like it's my job or my duty or my position or my place to have to educate my lover on these standpoints. Like, you got to feel it. If it ain't in
Yeah.
you, it can't be on you. It got to be in you. Like, so I feel like, I mean, you date who you want to date. That's your personal preference. But at the moment you start disrespecting your own, it's something
It's a
within you
problem.
that you need to fix. It's a problem, and
Mm-hmm.
it's put to bed for me.
Yeah. It's put the best for me too. It's some other things we can talk about with it because like, well, yeah, it's put to bed because I don't even want to go into it. That's gonna cause a whole another like 30 minutes. So our last topic of the night,
The
um,
last topic of the night.
yes, sir, is okay. So I also want to know your thoughts because I don't know. For me it's changed, but do you think family structure, family are the same as when we grew up and how our mothers grew up? Well, how our mother grew up, not mothers. Mother grew up, aunties, how they grew up, how we grew up versus now. Do you think the family structure has changed, or do you think has kind of stayed the same? And I mean that like the unity of it.
I feel like I want to be kind of. I want to be. I want. I don't want to. I want. I want it to make sure that.
Transparent.
yeah, I want to be very concise when I say what I'm gonna say because,
Hmm.
as you know, I've dealt
Hmm.
with stuff in our
Hmm.
family that you feel me that's
Right.
kind of unspeakable. I'm going to eventually touch on it. We're going to eventually touch on it on this platform, but
Yeah.
it's so deep that I ain't
I
even
didn't
really
think
ready
about
to
that.
share certain stuff like in the ramifications of family. First of all, I
Hmm.
feel like family and relative are two different things. I feel
Hmm.
like a relative is just somebody who was that you share the same blood with, whether it be a
Yeah.
mama, whether it be a cousin, whether it be a brother, whether it be a sister, whether it be an auntie, whether it be any of that type of situation. I feel like that's a relative.
Hmm.
Family is totally different. Family are people that you grew a bond with. Your family can be your friend. Your family can be a person that you went to middle school with. Your family could be somebody that you just met a year ago. They've been having your back longer than you met for somebody for 10
Absolutely.
years. Like
Absolutely.
that's family to me. But as far as in the family in the situation of bloodline, as far as relativity and all of that type of stuff, I feel like yes, it has changed a lot. Like I feel like the main thing that has changed it is the slavery,
Mm.
prejudice, racism has changed our family dynamics. It might sound crazy. A lot of people may disagree with my standpoint, but I feel like we were close. We were more close knit in family structure when we had oppressors, when we had a common enemy, when we identified that common enemy as these people, because it was like, okay, we have to be strong. We have to have family. We have to have that. We have to have each other's back because as soon as the moment we leave this door, we got enemies. We got people that's trying to
Yeah.
tear us down. So we have to be strong for each other. The moment segregation and all that type of stuff was abolished, the moment slavery was abolished, the further and further we get away from that, I feel like the further and further we are getting away from family structure because now it's like we are our own biggest enemy. We are our own biggest threat.
No.
And I'm just speaking on black people in general. I'm just speaking on us. Like
Hmm.
I can speak for people of color, period, but I'm speaking on black people. Like I feel like we are our own biggest threat. I feel like we are
Yeah.
our own biggest enemy. And today, like
Yeah.
we kill each other more than our oppressors are killing us for shit show. I feel like the family structure has decreased because we no longer value it like we used to. We used to value it because, like I said, you had to have that family structure. You had to have and a lot of family structure these days is it's more so baby mama and baby daddy than mother and father. And I say that to say like it's more so you might be living with your daddy and but your mama is all the way over here. You might be living with your mama, but your daddy is in a whole other household. Versus back in the days, man, our parents and stuff used to stay together, even though they didn't even want to be together.
That wasn't
Not
always
our
cool
family.
though.
No, I mean it's cool. I'm just saying, period. Not our family. I'm not speaking from
Mm.
personal experience.
Hmm.
I'm speaking in
Hmm.
general. I'm speaking in general as black
I know.
people. Like our grandmothers and our ancestors and stuff. You know, they were some of them weren't happy in their relationships, all the way
Hmm.
happy in their relationships, but they stayed with each other. They
They
stuck
said
it
it.
out for the sake of the family, for the sake
Right.
of that unity, for the sake of that growth, for the sake of that structure, as us being in having that household, having that
Yeah.
dynamics where you seen moms, you seen dad on a daily basis. Like I feel like we've gotten further away from that, and we're getting further away from that with a lot of social media stuff too. With it playing like
Mm.
every day you turn on social media, you see blood, water is thicker than blood because my family did this to me. My family did this to me. Like, and I can
Yeah.
attest. I done been in the same situations, and
Right.
I can attest that sometimes water is thicker than blood. So I feel like yes, family values have changed. Yes, family structure has changed, and that has
Mhm.
depreciated
Yeah.
along with us getting more comfortable with being intertwined with other cultures.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of the points you made. I think it's changed a lot from the time our mom was younger to the unity of like, okay, we all you one fight, y'all all fight. You know what I'm
Fact.
saying? We all come home together. We ain't leave nobody outside. Come home when them street lights come on, everybody together, and then everybody
Fact.
living in one house, two families, in one big old single family house, two sisters and two all their kids or whatever. And then going up, still doing the same thing in a sense. Like sometimes two sisters did stay together, forget the other one to get started or whatever, and then jump on the back of the other one and keep it moving. And
Fact.
then, but it was a unity there though. It was more of a, I got your back, you got mine. You do what you got to do to make sure you good, and then I make sure y'all good until you can. Then it started being a, I would say, the jealousy. I mean, sorry, jealousy has a lot to do with the change. Jealousy and envy is feelings of towards other family members and things like that have a lot to do with the family structure change because now we don't see each other as a unit as much. Sometimes we see each other as an enemy,
Right.
or we see each other as yeah, basically an enemy or somebody we think is better than us. So now we don't like them, you know what I'm saying, because our own insecurity. So I think family structure has changed a lot, unfortunately. I wish it would go back to that. Like you said, you experienced a lot in family, and through you experiencing that, we experienced a lot, and it changes the way you look at people. It changes the way you see family and the definition of how you feel family is. Like you said, sometimes people could be in your life for a year or two and they be like family, feel like family more than people you grew up with and you actually are family with. Blood
Fact.
to me does not mean family. It means family. Like you said, it means relative.
That's
It doesn't
relative.
mean
Yeah.
family. It doesn't mean family. Because like family could be a person who just loyal and got my back and I got theirs and they shown me that. A relative can be a person I go to a cookout, I see, and I walk away from them. So I walk away from them, they talking mess. So it depends on the situation. I think that across the board has changed, not just black people, because I see we just had a situation in Wisconsin where a young white guy killed his mom and his stepfather, and sat there like so. People just taking people out. You know, it is black people too, for sure. We do it. We've been
Oh
doing it,
yeah. Yeah.
but it's across the board. People just I'm taking out my whole family, young people, 18, 19. I'm killing my mom, my dad, whatever. Because
Yeah.
I can't control my fucking feelings is what it really is.
Facts.
But
Facts.
like I feel like yeah, that's what that made a big difference in how we feel about each other is okay, jealousy, one person, you know, you making it, you going to school or you opening a business and I'm sitting here and I'm having kids and I ain't got it and I don't know how to get it. So I'm feeling away. So then my loyalty to you is gonna change because now I don't really like you the way I used to. So I do feel like structure of family has changed because that kind of mind of a lot of people have changed. The mindset.
Facts. Facts.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's what's bad for me. Unfortunately, that's gonna come back up because
Yeah, I want to touch
that's
on two more things though before I put it
yeah,
down.
yeah, yeah.
You brought some
That
things to my attention.
that's gonna come back up anyway because we got a lot of more things to touch on, and it's gonna have to come from
Definitely.
it's gonna deal with the family dynamics and how that's changed and what we experienced in that situation. So yeah, it's gonna come back up.
Definitely, it's gonna come back up because, like, I'm gonna tell more of my story. The more we get familiar with the world. But
Yeah,
just in like you said, like, my girl recently put me up on a story. I don't be on social media like that. I be on social media, but I be on social media to laugh, to be entertained,
yeah,
and
hmm
to push my stuff on people and to promote, not to push my stuff on people, but to promote my own stuff. I don't be on there like
right.
scrolling. My girl, she in a whole different workforce and a whole different field. She's in a professional field where she uses social media as an outlet to
It's
just
the news.
she, to unwind and just look up anything. It's news for her and all type of stuff.
Me
I don't
too.
really, you feel me? So, but she put me up on the story where a young black man stole his dad car, got caught,
Hmm.
and when his dad approached him about the situation and reprimanded him, he
Yeah.
killed his daddy, he
Hmm.
killed his mama, he killed his brother, he killed his other brother, he killed his sister. He tried to gun his other brother down, but his brother got away. Like, he
Yeah, I
murdered his
know.
whole family, bro, because he
Uh-huh.
stole his family car. Like, a black dude.
Yeah, I
Like, and
know.
when she
I know
told
the
me about
story.
that, and my initial response, not even to be, please don't take this the wrong way, people. But my first question was like, damn, was he white? Because I'm thinking like he had to
Yeah,
be because that's not something that we normally do. Like, we don't
do
do that.
right, right.
So that was and when she told me like, no, he was black, it was like it blew my mind. I'm like, what? Like, niggas out here doing that?
Doing
Like,
that,
bro,
right?
that's crazy. So family dynamics have definitely changed, and that was
Yeah,
an eye opener for me to show me like it ain't the same.
it
It
ain't
ain't
the
the same.
same.
We doing what they be doing, and not even in the sense that like to be
Right.
racist, but just to be blunt, to be truthful. Like, we doing what they doing, and that's crazy. And
Yeah, it
another thing I want to
is.
touch on, like, that showed me that family dynamics have definitely changed. Another thing I want to touch on too is that to show, like, even within our own personal situation, like, not to put our whole, we're gonna dig more into it eventually on this platform, but even with our own family structure, look at the relationship that all of our siblings have.
Hmm.
over misunderstandings, miscommunication, basically
Yeah.
misunderstandings and miscommunications, and
Right.
to the point where like it's relationships have been eradicated
Yeah.
versus what our mother and her siblings been through. Like
They've been there too, though. I seen them
what
come up
they,
and
I know,
but
but
they
they've been
bounced
there, but
back.
they've been like, in my personal opinion, we already getting past our little time limit type situation. I don't
Yeah,
want to go
that's
too
why I was
crazy on
like,
it, but in my personal opinion, like I feel like some stuff that our mother and her siblings have been through are way worse. Even my own
mm,
personal situation where it was like,
mm,
you do that to my child, nigga, you cut off. Period. I
right.
don't care if you my brother, you my sister. Your kid do that to my kid, it's over with. We
Yeah,
no longer family. It's over
I
with.
agree.
And I've
I
seen
agree.
our mother and her siblings still communicate with each other and still have a relationship with each other aside from
Mm,
whatever. Like they still all communicate. They still all look at each other as siblings. Like and I feel like so that's also shows me like yeah, family structure has changed because like
yeah.
we don't move the same. Even though
Changed.
over less, we don't move the same. It's
We don't
different.
move the same. We don't
It's
communicate the same. We
we cut
don't
each
look at
other
each
off
other the
in a
same.
heartbeat. Like we cut each other off in
Yeah,
a heartbeat versus them
yeah.
and their generation. It's like no, they still gonna look at it like no, this is my family, this is my blood, this is my sibling. We gonna still have some kind of relationship. Versus today, our generation is like no, I'll cut you completely off.
I cut you off and then I don't tell you why. Or I'm mad
Period. I
at
mean,
you and
even
I don't
telling you
tell you
why or
why.
not telling you why, like yeah, that part is kind of irrelevant in the point I'm trying to
Yeah.
prove. Like we'll cut each other in this generation, we'll cut each other off completely.
Hmm.
Family, siblings, brother, sister, versus the other older generation. They gonna still
Work
they
it
gonna
through.
still they sweep it under the rug before they just cut their sibling off. And I
Yeah,
feel like
that's what
that's the difference
yeah, it is.
in a lot of our family structure these days. Like we more
Hmm.
prone to I'm gonna cling to this friend. I'm gonna cling to this person who I feel is more family. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just
Yeah,
saying like that's just the dynamics of it.
right. So yeah, it definitely has changed a lot. Yeah. That's all I can say. It's changed a lot,
Yeah,
unfortunately, and it hurts the growth of what we're trying to do in our communities because we can't do work together as a
facts,
family. How you gonna work together
facts.
and grow
We
and
gotta
build
be
generational wealth?
facts, and to be honest, that's the enemy's goal. The enemy's goal
It
is
is.
where we at right now to keep us
It
separated.
is.
If you can cause separation, if you can cause confusion within us, I mean that's part of the Willie Lynch theory. That's part of slavery to keep us
Right.
separated. The light skins don't like the dark skins. The house niggas don't
Hmm.
like the field. Like if you can separate us, you can conquer us. To divide
Hmm.
and conquer. That's the engagements of rule. I mean that's part of engagements of war. To divide and conquer.
Yeah.
And
And
that's what
that's
they
what we
done.
do.
That's what
That's
they
what we
done.
do
That's
in
what
our
we done.
Yeah.
We are so divided that we can be
Yeah.
easily conquered.
Exactly. I agree. And unfortunately, that's our time, y'all.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's our
um,
time.
I was gonna say something. Nah, like, but for real, unfortunately, that's what's happening in our unfortunately, that's what's happening in our families, and hopefully, we get that unity back for real
Facts, facts.
and that healing.
But it starts with us. I mean, if y'all
Yeah,
don't know, this is my beloved sister,
for
and we
real.
started this platform together to
Mm-hmm.
build and to bring it to awareness and to bring up these
Certain
topics and to bring up these
topics and things.
situations to
Yeah.
bring up this awareness of where people start to see and hopefully hopefully we grow better and we know better.
Self-reflect. Self-reflect is my main goal. Let you see, look at it. It's like a mirror. We want to be a mirror for people. We
Facts,
bring up the topics and then you were self-reflect. Is that something that you do? Is that something that you see? Is that something that you can help? And then see what you can do out there to change it or
facts,
help it or support it, whatever that look like.
facts.
But I want to ask you a question later, the next time. Do you believe in a hierarchy in siblings? Because you said that's also a difference in family structure that I noticed in my mom in our parents versus ours. There's a respect of hierarchy, which also makes the communication a little bit better.
I mean, I feel like I'm gonna touch on it real brief, but I feel like every kingdom,
Hmm.
every tribe, every society, every public thing that you can even think of, to where it's even in the presidency of this country, everything has a hierarchy. Everything that
Yeah.
is ran with structure has a your job. Like I
Yeah.
said, when
Definitely.
you got the king and the queen, you got the president, you got the person who's whether they looked at as a dictator or not. You got the person who everything that has structure has a hierarchy, and if you do when you don't
Hmm.
respect that, when it doesn't have that, You just got people. You got too many chiefs
Chaos.
and not enough Indians.
Yep, you
Period.
got chaos. Yep.
Got chaos. Where there's no
Too
structure,
many
there's
hands in
chaos.
the Yep, too many hands in the basket.
Yeah, too
But
many chiefs, not
yeah,
enough.
it's put to bed for me because I feel like we touched on a lot. We spoke on our word. We put that mirror up to people's faces, and we hope you can self reflect on some of these things we saying. I know I do every single time.
Right.
But yeah, and I hope we back with another Diamond G. What you got, bro?
Man, hey, look, rest your eyes, but don't rest your mind, don't rest your spirit,
Mm,
don't rest your ambition, man. You feel me?
yeah, and listen, if something happen, you fall, you get back up, and you brush yourself off, and you keep going. That's what we're doing in this 2025 and upward. We
You
ain't
know,
stopping there. You can't stop there.
can't stop, won't stop.
No stop. Oh, not Diddy.
Not
Oh.
shout out to Diddy. No shout out to Diddy.
Ah, shoot. All right, bro. Love.
All right, love, blood.